Scramble block comes to the point. Rafalski shoots. Knocked down in the mad scramble. Lidstrom shoots at a tremendous save by Fleury. They've done it. The Penguins have done it. Sidney Crosby and the Penguins have won the Stanley Cup.
Hey, sports porchers, it's your hockey Jesus, and I'm back with the appropriate video to show as tribute to Marc-Andre Fleury. Well, as you know, the hockey playoffs are going on, and if you don't know who I am your hockey Jesus. I preach about things Pittsburgh Penguin related, but mostly hockey related. Today, because Marc-Andre Fleury lost the other night, I have to give my final tribute to one of the greatest goalies the Pittsburgh Penguins have ever known, Marc-Andre Fleury. And how else to do it than with that save? That save is absolutely his highlight reel number one, because that save was just amazing. I can remember it like it was yesterday, watching it in my living room with my family and just watching him make that save and just raising the cup. That team had no business beating the Detroit Red Wings, yet they did. So let's look at Marc-Andre Fleury's career. Started in 2003-04, first overall pick, not just the Pittsburgh Penguins pick, first overall pick. What did he do? Well, he played for the Penguins, and he just happened to win 3 Stanley Cups, 4-time All-Star, ended up first all-time for the Pittsburgh Penguins in wins, and he made it to 4 Stanley Cup finals. It just was an amazing run for him. He started off hot. As a goalie, his first game, he had 40 saves, even though they lost 3-0. That team was so pathetic. That was pre-Sidney Crosby year, actually. His first year. Yeah, that's true. Marc-Andre Fleury's been around a little bit longer than Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin and Chris Letang. Let's show those guys, shall we? Let's show it. I think I got something here. There are the boys right there in the last game playing against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sorry we had to beat you, Fleury, but hey, so be it. That's the way it works. They got a nice picture there. And those boys just did it. But in his first year, he wasn't very great. He had a 3.64 goals against and an 896 save percentage. Only played 20 games his rookie season. They brought him up at the end, kind of like they did this year with the boys they brought up. Only played 20 games. The next year was actually a strike year, believe it or not. So he had a whole year off after his first rookie season. And when he came back, honestly, he wasn't much better. He played 45 games, had a goals against at 3.25 and an 898 save percentage. That was Gino and Sid's first year in the league. But after that, the guy took off. He ended up with a 912 save percentage, 2.6 goals against average, and he played a career 1,017 games. I can tell you the year he won the cup, the first time, he was pretty damn good. 2.29 goals against, 0.921 save percentage in 58 starts. And the year, this is the controversial year. The second year they won the cup back-to-back, 16-17. He only played in 38 games. Matt Murray was around, and he had a 909 save percentage and a 3.02 goals against. Matt Murray, on the other hand, that year, 32-14, 2.41, and a 923 save percentage. So everybody keeps saying, we should have kept Fleury. We should have kept Fleury. We should have kept Fleury. Maybe in hindsight, knowing we never were going to make it back to a cup, it would have been better to have all the nostalgia that's been going on with him in goal. But it was the right call. And it was not just the right call for the Pittsburgh Penguins, but it was the right call for the Vegas Golden Knights. He ended up playing 3 seasons with them, won a Vezina trophy, never did that with the Penguins, and took them to a Stanley Cup final in their inaugural season. He was the face of the franchise for that first year. Absolutely no doubt about it. He was the prime target for Vegas Golden Knights in that inaugural season. That was just magic for them, part of the Misfits group. And he just I was so proud to see Marc say, "Hey, I'm not at the end of my career." That really launched his career to be able to do what he did. For unfortunate reasons, Vegas had a lot of good goalies, and they kicked him to the curb to Chicago. Chicago was a nothing team. This was back in a 2021-22 season. But yet, still, Marc-Andre Fleury had a .908 save percentage in 45 games for the Blackhawks that year. Not a good team, that Blackhawks team, not at all. And fortunately, Marc at that time was thinking about retirement, and they traded him to the Minnesota Wild, where he played the last 4 seasons of his career. He did okay there. Really, he was riding into the sunset when he played for the Wild. The funny thing is, Gus, their starting goalie, he was a former Pittsburgh Penguins goalie who ended up being the starter. So Minnesota Wild actually has 2 former Pittsburgh Penguin goalies on their roster. Gustafsson never played for us. He was just a prospect, and he got traded, I think, for Zucker back in the day. Whew, that wasn't a good trade. Like to have Gustafsson back. But for the Wild, he 2.9, 902 in 114 games started. So Marc-Andre Fleury, you deserve a break today. I think that was a commercial. And I think it's just been a great career. Certainly Hall of Famer, absolutely first ballot Hall of Famer. Great guy. Never got to meet the guy, unfortunately. Hey, Marc, if you're not doing anything and you want to retire, we got a couple young goalies who could use a little training, if you know what I mean. Be nice to see you in the locker room again doing your pranks. So maybe think about it. Maybe Dubas want to get on the phone and say, "Hey, Marc, you thinking of coaching?" He's probably thinking of just putting his feet up and going golfing a little bit. I would if I was him. Marc-Andre Fleury, congratulations. Enjoy your retirement. And if you do decide to coach, please come back and get our guys in Pittsburgh to a level that you were at for multiple years. I also have to bring about that the last time we talked, Sully got fired. He got canned. And I told you it wouldn't be long until he got hired. And sure enough, yesterday, the New York Rangers hired Mike Sullivan as their head coach. What did Mike do for the Pittsburgh Penguins? Well, remember, Mike Sullivan was not the starting coach the year in 2015. The Pittsburgh Penguins actually hired Mike Johnson to play. He was an absolute failure. It was obvious from the get he was going to be terrible. The Pens started 1-4 that year. And remember, this is, 6 years past the Cup where we were making the playoffs and losing, making it some ways, not really doing much. Bilesma got canned the season before. And they hired Mike Johnson. After 5 games, he got canned. That same year, they hired Mike Sullivan to coach Wilkes-Barre, actually. And he had coached 2 years before for the Boston Bruins. And so he came in and right away, Stanley Cups, back-to-back. Boom, boom, Stanley Cup, back-to-back seasons. He was 32-17 in the playoffs in his first 2 seasons as head coach. I'm pretty sure that's a record. .653 win percentage in the playoffs. Just phenomenal. That's why I think he stayed as long as he did. Let's see. What did he do? For the Penguins, 753 games. He was 409 wins, 344 losses. That includes the ties. For a .602 save percentage for his career. Really, the last 3 seasons is what did in Mike Sullivan. Not making the playoffs the last 3 seasons. Not making the playoffs the last 3 years. The next 8 years, he hadn't done well. So in his first 2 years, he was 32-17 in the playoffs. The next 8 years, he was 12-21 in the playoffs. And 3 of those 8 years, he didn't make the playoffs at all. So really, that was in 5 years he accumulated that record. Just couldn't get out of the first round. I mean, I don't know what it was. One year it was a injured team. One year it was goaltending. Next year it was goaltending. And Mike Sullivan was a hell of a coach. He would give it to you straight. He wouldn't mince words. He will give you he'll give you the bottom line. Absolutely. And I think fans in New York, I think you're going to like that. I think you're going to like Mike Sullivan at the get. But I don't know, man. That Rangers team, they are in trouble. And Mike, you got your work cut out for you. But Mike Sullivan, thanks for the cups. Thanks for your tenure here with the Pittsburgh Penguins. 10 seasons. It's been a long time. Most winningest coach. So there you go, Pittsburgh Penguins fans. 2 guys out. That just means opportunity is knocking at the door for somebody. I'm your Hockey Jesus. This was a tribute to former Pittsburgh Penguins players. Pretty soon, we're going to have to know who our new head coach will be. And I'll be here to give it to you. So if you like that, smash that subscribe button. I'll give you analysis of what's going to happen with the new Pittsburgh Penguins head coach. And until then, enjoy that playoff hockey. And I'll see you in the next one.